and welcome back to another review. So today we are reviewing the Christmas Chronicles, which came out in 2018. Honestly, I meant to watch this a hell of a lot sooner after it came out, but YOLO. There is also a sequel that I still need to watch too. But this one was already on my radar because I knew Kurt Russell was in it, and I knew the sequel has Goldie Hawn in it, who is one of my faves. But what I did not know is that Goldie is at the end of this movie. What I also did not know is that her son is at the start of the movie. So, kind of a total family affair. Now I'm fully expecting all or more of them to be in the sequel. But anyway, regardless, basic plot gist of this movie. It starts off with, what looks like camcorder videos of, Christmas through different years and stuff, even though the quality of said camcorder does not match the years they're showing. It would be much better quality than that. What they're showing looks like something out of the 80s, but I'll overlook that. It doesn't matter. And we get through little bits and pieces of those, little clues that the dad must be a firefighter, but unfortunately that is also the downfall, because evidently we find out later the dad died fighting a fire. Yeah, and nothing has ever been the same. And at the end of all these clips, you see that it's like the daughter just going through these and watching them through the lens of the camcorder. And then she finds a blank tape in there, and she decides she's gonna go record her Christmas letter for Santa, and I guess mail it off to the North Pole or whatever, as is her tradition every year. And her brother walks in the middle of it and tries to take away the camera, and is making fun of her for it, for still doing that, and he almost spills the beans of there is no way that he'll ever see that. It's just real smooth, buddy. Real smooth, but thank you for not saying the other thing. So, but, anyway, it ends up in a huge fight and everything, to the point where the two of them are literally wrestling it out on the floor, knock down the tree. It's a whole thing. Break of family picture that's it's a whole ass thing. Sibling rivalry, especially with a big age difference. I relate to that one, because she's little and he's a grown-ass teenager, almost adult. It's like that. It's the age difference between me and Kimmy, but regardless, difference is he's a shithead, so who is literally on the wrong path. He's this close to being on his way to juvie, if not full-on prison, because the next thing we see is him going out with his friends. Yeah, they're stealing a car. Yeah, it escalates that fucking fast. It's holy shit, what the hell am I watching? This is in the first 15 minutes. I'm what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? Yeah, and all the mom wants is some peace and quiet, wants them to get along, just wants to have a nice Christmas, but alas, being a nurse, she gets called in on Christmas Eve to work a long shift, because nature of the business and single momhood, there you go. So, the daughter figures, well, she still believes in Santa anyway. She's gonna set up her camcorder. Peeking through the door. Gonna set up some traps so that she will catch Santa on camera, because in one of the videos she was watching back, she sees mom and dad over here in this part of the frame. But what the hell was that in this one corner here? A red-sleeved arm putting a present under the tree real quick like that is gone just as fast, and she pauses it on that frame and is convinced it's Santa. She has proof there is Santa, and she will get even better proof this year, because she's gonna lay traps and she is going to film the whole thing. Yeah. And this is where everything goes awry, because as she does, it's going perfectly to plan, and she's getting it all on film, and she gets overly ambitious, because she's watching through the viewfinder as it's going down. But as he leaves the house, she's bolting outside. She's oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, where's the reindeer? Where's the reindeer? I need to get this all. She's little mini documentarian. I love it. And she actually sees up on the roof where they are. So in her genius wisdom, and by this point, the brother's been roped in, she climbs up, I think a electrical pole or something to get up there. And she initially just wants to film the inside of the sleigh and everything before he takes off, since who else can say they have this on film, right? And then she wants a closer look, and shit happens. She falls into the sleigh, and next thing they know, Santa's tossed the sack of presents on top of them, unknowing that they're there, and takes off with them in the back. Yep. And it's not until she's getting freezing cold back there and is wondering, I wonder if Santa has a blanket, that she just very quietly, politely goes to tap him on the shoulder and ask. And of course it scares the ever-loving shit out of him. Things go bad very quickly. Sleigh is going out of control because now he's distracted and the reindeer are going everywhere. The reindeer end up, like, snapping off from the sleigh and just escaping. Sleigh crashes. Toys, God only knows where they landed. Like, it's a whole ass thing. And this is where we get kind of bitchy Santa here. Like, not full-on mean, but he is aggravated that this happened. This ruins his whole schedule. What is he gonna do? How is he gonna fix this all in one night? Da-da-da-da-da. Of course, she's like offering, but we can help you. He's like, no, I think you've done quite enough. You are on the permanent naughty list. And she's like, no, not the permanent naughty list, because again, worst thing that can happen to a kid ever is to be on the permanent naughty list. So she is hell-bent on making this right, one way or another. And she decides she'll help him find the reindeer or something, or help find the presents, anything. And it just goes awry from there, but also turns into a full-on adventure. I don't want to give the entire happenings of the plot away. I will say there's a point Santa ends up in jail, and it's like a whole thing, so now it's down to the kids to take over the whole thing and fix it. This movie is very CGI heavy, which in certain aspects is impressive, but in other moments is like, they kind of toned it down a little, because it almost feels like now they're just flexing, look what we can do, and now it's just like, you overdid it a little bit. Overcompensating. Could have dialed it down just a teeny bit. It probably would have been perfect, but like slightly overdid it. Which is one of my only complaints with this film, is that it's like, okay, you can dial it back a little, just a little. Their interpretation of elves is unique. They look halfway between like a Furby and like Norns from Creatures, and they talk like minions, so have fun with that. I'm like, oh god, why? But then again, I think 2018 was probably around the height of Minion Mania, so I'm like, oh, gross. But anyway, not a fan of Minions, in case we couldn't tell, but, yeah, it's also a very different version of elfhood, I guess, and, like, how they act, both for better and worse at the same time. It's like, I don't know that I'm feeling it on those elves, but that's my only other complaint with this movie, is, like, their version of the elves. But everything else, though, is pretty cool. Once again, true to form for Kurt Russell, I swear it's like Where's Waldo in his movies, that if he is performing and singing, he cannot help himself. He is going to do the Elvis moves, because he literally can't help it. You'll find throughout his career, pretty much every movie ever has at least some subtle reference to Elvis in it. Big or small, some more obvious than others. But especially if he is performing in any way, shape, or form, he is doing the Elvis moves, because he literally cannot stop himself from doing them, because he has played Elvis that many times at this point in his career. It's just like second nature to him. It's kind of cute. Happens again here when he performs in the jail cell, but I'll leave it at that. He does not do an Elvis song, though. But, yeah, everything ends up fine at the end of the day, and it's all very sweet and sentimental, but, like, I don't know, for, like, a modern Christmas movie, a lot of them are a little bit eye-roll inducing. This one's not, though. This one is actually genuinely pretty good, and I don't think I was expecting it to be as good as it was. I think I was expecting more, like, Hallmark Channel level bullshit, and was like, oh boy, here we go. But at the same time, I want to see Kurt, so I'll sit through it, but then it ended up being genuinely really good. My mom watched it with me and loved it too. I'm sure at some point in the next few days I'll be watching the sequel, because we have to know what happens next. But, It's really cute. I would recommend it. I think I would rate it like a 4.5 out of 5. I'm only talking it down that little bit because the freaking elves and the going overboard with the CGI a little too much. But that aside, it's otherwise a really good film and really well written. It takes like a kind of unique take on things. I mean, some of it has definitely been done before in other movies, but in general, it feels like a fresher take on it than a lot of other movies that have used those same ideas. So, for whatever that might be worth to you. So, anyway, that is it for this one. You can find that movie on Netflix if you got it. But yeah, so anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe, hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload, leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddits, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.